For obvious reasons, I will always be in Henry Cavill's corner. I will always be rooting for him to succeed. I want to see his Warhammer project get off the ground. I want to see him in the Highlander. I'd love to see him as James Bond one day, and it goes without saying that I would welcome back to the role of Superman with open arms. But one thing that I do not want for Henry Cavill is for him to attach himself to the show that is Disney Star Wars. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So back in November, it was reported that Simon Kinberg had signed a deal with Lucasfilm to write and produce a new trilogy of Star Wars films. And all of this was announced to the delight of absolutely no one. His trilogy would reportedly revolve around a new set of characters and a new story separate from the Skywalker saga. Now we have a report from Scooper, and I use that term very loosely, My Time to Shine H, who corroborated a rumor that former Man of Steel and The Witcher star Henry Cavill has met with Lucasfilm about a potential role, adding that the part is expected to be a villainous one. And there is speculation that the mysterious role would be in Kinberg's potential trilogy. Now there's a few things wrong with this rumor, but I'll start with the obvious thing first. Let's be honest, it is entirely possible, even likely, that this trilogy will never see the light of day. How many proposed Star Wars projects have been cancelled just in recent memory? Has anyone seen the Rian Johnson trilogy or the Taika Waititi movie? No? Thank Christ for that, because who in their right mind wants to see either of those two hacks anywhere near a Star Wars project anytime soon? Or ever. I mean, hasn't the franchise suffered enough already? Do we really need to bring in the two trolls with a budget? I don't think so. It's because of directors like Rian Johnson that this is a dead franchise that has now been relegated to garbage streaming shows for the past several years. That's right, this once proud and profitable franchise reduced to ashes thanks to Disney Lucasfilm.
Why are you the way that you are?
So I have to ask the question, why does anyone think that a Simon Kinberg of all people trilogy would be any better? What about Lucasfilm's recent track record would give you the impression that they could make one good movie, let alone an entire trilogy of movies? The truth is that at this point you could bring George Lucas himself back into the fold, and I'm not entirely sure that it would matter. Because the only way that Star Wars could ever be saved at this point is if the IP was sold to another studio. As I stated at the beginning of this video, I like Henry Cavill. I think he is one of the few genuine people left in this godforsaken town called Hollywood. Which is exactly why I want to keep him as far away from Disney Lucasfilm as humanly possible. Let me put it this way, what actor in recent memory has had their career benefit from being involved in a Disney Star Wars project? The answer is not many. In fact, most people have to overcome their involvement with Disney Star Wars if they want to have some resemblance of a career afterwards.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Daisy Ridley didn't exactly light the world on fire after she played Rey Palpatine, now did she? John Boyega never really recovered after Disney Star Wars turned his character into a complete buffoon and a waste of screen time. Moses Ingram, Amandla Stenberg, Kelly Marie Tran, the list goes on and on. All of these actors and actresses were given shit material to work with, and now unfortunately they are forever connected with these roles that were severely underdeveloped. Only a few people like Adam Driver were actually able to crawl their way out of the slop and become a respected actor again. So I have to ask the question again, if you are a fan of Henry Cavill as I am, why would you support him putting himself through the same exact career suicide?
Not impressed.
Granted, Henry Cavill is a bit more established already than the people I already mentioned, but no one is immune to the negative impacts of being involved with a Disney Star Wars project. Listen, based on what we know about Henry Cavill, I'm sure he was a massive fan of George Lucas's Star Wars, like we all were. And I'm sure the little kid in him is probably thinking about how much fun it would be to finally enter that world. But he needs to realize, everyone needs to realize, that Disney Star Wars is not the same as real Star Wars. And if you need any more proof of that, just look at their recent efforts on Disney+. The Acolyte, anyone? Do I really need to remind you how that show systematically destroyed the past, present, and future of Star Wars, with complete disregard for what made the franchise popular with audiences to begin with? Hell, even the Star Wars shows that are reviewed halfway decently, like Andor, nobody gives a shit about. Even if they do manage to make something that might be halfway decent, there's absolutely no interest in it.
I don't care!
Star Wars is a shadow of its former self, and I think it's best for everyone if we just ignore it and allow it to quietly go away. We are so close at this point, it's already pretty much irrelevant, but it's going to get to the point where it completely disappears from pop culture relevance. And I really don't want Henry Cavill jumping on the Titanic after it already hit the iceberg.
It's been 84 years.
Please, for the love of God, let this franchise die, and maybe, just maybe, someday down the line, way down the line, a creative mind will come up with a way to resurrect this franchise and turn it into what it once was. Now, I don't even know if that's possible anymore, but the fan in me would like to believe that there's someone out there who could do something worthwhile with this once proud franchise. The truth is that Henry Cavill deserves so much better than anything Disney Lucasfilm could possibly give to him. I just hope that with everything that Henry has been through, with these other garbage studios, that he now understands his own self-worth, and he will not lower himself and get involved with the bullshit over at Disney Lucasfilm.
Y'all be cool. Right on.